everyone, welcome back to the Lemon Abroad. Hi everyone, it's Greer. I just wanted to check in because it's been a while since I've made a YouTube video just about life in Sicily. The last time I made a YouTube video was about moving to Sicily, and it was about almost 3 years ago. When I had just arrived and I had just found my first apartment. So now it's almost 3 years later. I've been living in Palermo this whole time, and we can just say that maybe things didn't go to plan. I don't really know what I thought was going to happen when I moved to Palermo. I came here really without any plan. I just knew that I loved it here. I knew that I felt like I had a connection here because of my Sicilian roots. And I knew that I was tired of living out of a suitcase. I was ready to put down some roots. So I came back to Palermo. I had been here before because I lived as a babysitter with a family for 2 months. And I had really grown to love the city, its energy, its spirit. And so when I was thinking about where I would want to settle down, I said, let me come back to Palermo. So I had a really nice couple of months. I was settling into my new place, just getting to know the rhythm of everything. And then we had lockdown, and I was in my studio apartment by myself. But fortunately, I had 2 neighbors. We all had moved in at the same time, and they were young women around my age. So fortunately, we got to know each other, and we would be able to, talk from our doorways in this hallway. I also had a small, I guess you could say, an alley off of my balcony. In this alley was a very typical neighborhood of Palermo where people had lived for generations. Cousins lived across the street from each other, and everyone knew each other. So for me, they thought I was a tourist who got stuck in an Airbnb. So of course, every afternoon we had a small concert. Everyone would come out on their balconies, and it was really nice to have that community as well. So I wasn't really doing much, but for me it was okay because I had been traveling for a long time. I was honestly really tired, and I kind of needed something to make me stay in one place. But after the lockdown was lifted, I didn't really know what to do, and so my neighbors, these 2 girls, they really helped me figure out how to apply to grad school here. I had always thought about going back to grad school, and this just really was the perfect time. It was pretty confusing to navigate, I won't lie, but they really helped me find my way, and I enrolled in graduate school here. We went to the university for a few weeks, and then we were back in online classes for most of the session, but through university, I managed to make a lot of friends. I started going into my community more, getting involved in different activities. For example, I started taking dance lessons. These activities really helped me discover Palermo, really find my way here, make friends, and get to know people. So I really feel like in 2.5, 3 years, even with lockdowns, even with going to grad school, which I found to be pretty consuming, that I really found my way, and I've really enjoyed my time here. And there are so many things that I'm thankful for. There's definitely also been a lot of challenges that I faced. Challenges that I think you face moving anywhere new, moving anywhere where you don't really know how things work. I don't know if it's more here or if it's unique to here. I don't think so, because what I've learned is that whenever I thought I was the only person going through some type of challenge, usually having to do with my housing, I would meet someone who was going through the same thing, or I would talk to someone who lived in Rome and they had had a similar experience, or I knew someone in my building who was even Italian and who had a similar experience to me. So it wasn't just because I had come from America, and it was just because sometimes that's the way things work. So if you've been following my YouTube channel, you would have seen that I did this moving to Sicily video. I was so excited to move here, and I was so excited to share about life here, kind of how to get things going. I don't know really what I had expected, but with lockdown, everything kind of changed. You'll see that my YouTube channel quickly shifted to being a cooking channel, which I'm so grateful for as well, because it's something that on the one hand, I always wanted to do. When I was younger, I would pretend to do cooking shows when I was just in the kitchen with my mom. At the same time, it's something that I never could have imagined I would be doing. So it was really a nice surprise for me to start being able to showcase that and to talk about cooking, because I love it. I love discovering recipes, especially from different cultures, and learning something new about different cultures, especially when you were in lockdown and you couldn't actually physically leave your house to go experience those things. You could still have that experience at home. So now I'm here. I graduated from graduate school a few weeks ago, and I've just kind of been laying low a little bit, resting, taking some time off. As I said, grad school was really consuming for me, as I think it is for a lot of people, if not most people. So now I'm just trying to see what's next. If you had talked to me anytime over the past 2.5 years, I probably would have told you that I thought I was going to live in Palermo forever, and this was the only place I could see myself living. And while for many reasons it is a place I love so much, maybe in the past month or so, I opened my mind a little bit to also say that maybe I'll go somewhere else, maybe I'll try something new. Palermo has definitely had its challenges for me, and even if I'm not the only person who experiences them, and even if other people are able to handle them with more resilience, I can't say that it's been really difficult to deal with a lot of the situations, and especially when you are far away from your family and you are in a context where you don't inherently know all the rules of the game, I guess I could say. And I don't think that this is just Palermo. I think this is anywhere where you're new and you're figuring things out as you go, and that's one of the consequences of moving abroad. That's, a lot of people tell me, when I tell them what I've been going through, they say, well, yeah, you're doing this new thing, it's really scary, and you have to learn these lessons because you don't just have this knowledge from growing up there. So on the one hand, it's a compliment to you doing something new and scary, but at the same time, it is kind of a natural consequence that I guess I didn't anticipate. I definitely didn't anticipate. I've lived in a lot of different places, and places that I really had no idea about anything. I didn't know the language, the culture was very different from how I grew up, but I thought I had more of an understanding because I could speak the language, but no. So now I'm not really sure what's going to come next. I'm just starting to look for jobs, either remotely, maybe to move to a new city. I would also really like to see what the opportunities are here. I think because for the past 2 years, I haven't been working, I've been in school. So I haven't had really an insight into what I guess you could say would be, quote, real life here. I don't know the daily ins and outs. Even when I was going to graduate school, we were at home most of the time. So I was just in my apartment. I could have been anywhere. So I really want to give it a shot. I would say that I don't have rose-colored glasses about it. It's not that I think that, once I'm working, once I find a better apartment, once I have my driver's license and get a car, things will be better. I think it might alleviate some things. It might create new frustrations that I can't anticipate yet. we'll see. I'm not really sure where the next few months are going to take me, but what I do know is that I want to take you along. So right now I'm just taking things day by day. I'm just taking the next step in front of me. So once I graduated from graduate school, I enrolled in driving school, which is really important to me to get my driver's license here. It's the next step in becoming more independent. After this is going to be starting to get more involved in my local community and hopefully finding a job soon. I would really like to work in my local community. There are many organizations here that are supporting especially migrants and refugees, and I would really like to get involved in that, something I feel really strongly about. And we'll see what comes next. And then the next thing would be to look for a new apartment. I don't think it's just here. I think it's really universal that looking for an apartment is just like, so I definitely think that's worth talking about. I think that I've learned a lot of lessons in my experience dealing with apartments, dealing with landlords, dealing with bureaucracy that I think would be really useful to know before you move to Palermo. So I'll save more of that for next time, but thank you for tuning in. Thank you for sticking with me for these years, even though I haven't been so active due to grad school. And if you're just here for the first time, thank you for tuning in. I hope you subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I'll see you next time. Ciao.